poke distances, though, just because of the sheer nature of the map.
Well, we're starting things off, and like I said, very good brawl map. We're seeing both of these teams running the brawl here to start things off here. Interesting decision. Instead of Cassidy, we're seeing a Reaper on the side of Brashear Mustangs, and it's already looking well for the side of Brashear. They're taking a lot of front damage into that shield of Ash like whoa on the Reinhardt for the side of Error 404, but a lot of damage now coming into Mustangs here. Nervy does take down the Immortality Field. That's a lot of damage mitigation gone, and a pin coming in from Ash like whoa, takes down Master Mac with a follow-up by Mr. Potwash, and that should be enough for Error 404 to take this first first point.
So the defining feature there was the fact that the Immortality Field was just too early there. Obviously, he had to use it, but unfortunately that means that the other team with the Lucio and the Moira can just run into the team, and they have no option really there.
Ooh, Fish not going down off the side of the map. That's just an easy fight win for Error 404, and they did, however, use this Coalescence late. They didn't probably need it to win that fight off after losing, after Fish going off the side of the map, but Error 404 getting a very commanding lead on this point progress.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure on the coalescence there either there. Or the fact that the Lucio's jumping off the map. This is just should not be happening at this level. In fact, it shouldn't be happening at any level into these competitions. I'd expect that there will be a shatter coming here for the Minotaurs to try and clean up this fight quickly, though.
A nice wall coming out there from Luna. A shatter from the wall as well from Flogenis. The Blizzard out is going to win this fight as Nervy with 4 with a dead eye. As that should be another easy team fight win for the side of Error 404. But they had to invest a lot of ultimates there, Sonic.
Yes, they definitely did. So that fight with 3 ults for the Minotaurs against no ults for the Mustangs. So in theory, the Mustangs should have the advantage coming into this next fight with almost 6 ults online.
It's going to be an ult bonanza coming in from Mustangs because they need to win this fight, and they need to win it now because, well, it's up to one of the penultimate fight or one of the last fights in this as they're going to start things off with the self-destruct coming through from as it's going to take down Nervy as well. That's a huge pick. They're going to try to turn this back into the favor for the side of Error 404, but ultimates coming out from the side of Mustang should be enough. Flogenis taking down Ash like whoa, and that should be enough again with a nice kill coming in from Eye on the Diva.
Overtime was unfortunately ticked on there, but for 3 ults and on the side of the Mustangs, I believe they used 2 ults there, so that's a very, very nice fight for the Mustangs. Error 404 not looking as much of a strong position as they were just 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, as the Amp Matrix is going to be coming out, countered out by the Coalescence. Interesting decision. They're going to rotate around this the Amp Matrix as well to mitigate as little damage as possible. The Shatter coming out does connect to 2. Red Luna and Mr. Giggles are down, but they're not out. They don't get caught as Springy Skate using the Death Blossom finds 3, and that's going to be another team fight win for the side of Brashear Mustangs as they're now looking very strong on this point.
I think that was a slight mistake on the Minotaurs' part for not just pushing in there. They had the cold pressure. Even with the window, they should have just either gone straight through the window or quickly around the side. And it looks like we have a quick pause.
We're going to be seeing a lot of Pharah, and Pharah is very good on this map. Interesting decision, we're only seeing it from the side of Error 404, but we'll see how things go on for these squads as, well, they're going to be trying to take this high ground is Brashear Mustangs, but I mean, it's going to be really difficult for them to do anything at this moment in time, because they're going to have to deal with this Pharah. They do have Springy Skate on the McCree to work things out, but Red Luna's taken down him and all already start things off. They got to drop down to contest this point, but it's not looking good for the side of Brashear Mustangs. Just as I say that, Diva does take down Nervy, but that still is a lot of damage coming out from Error 404 to really capture this point into their favor to start things off.
The Farah pick on this map is honestly a must pick. It's forced a soldier swap on the Mustang side, which gives the Ryan on the Minotaurs a great advantage over their competitors. A slight worry though is only the Moira here for the heals for most of the team for Aero 404. You normally see a BAP here, but Moira does have more flexibility in her kit for engages with the Farah. It looks like we've got the window out here from the Mustangs to start things off.
Matt, Luna does take down Flogenis with the barrage, but it's not going to be enough. A huge shatter, however, comes out from Ash like, whoa, that could turn this fight on its head. The beat is used by 404Minotaurs, which is a very interesting decision. Self-destruct out from Eyes, trying to get something here, but still, it's looking good for the side of Air 404. They've got this point, but just as I say that, Staney and Flogenis get picks of their own to start to get this point back into the favor, but it's not being given up by the side of Air 404 yet. They use that Dragon Blade. They take down Staney is huge, and the respawns are coming back for the side of Air 404, but not in time before the side of Brashear Mustangs capture the point.
Whilst that was a very messy fight, the extra heals that the Baptiste provides actually helped so much there in that fight. The Moira just doesn't have the sustainer for the long fight to do that. And that is why the Mustangs just came out on top of the longer fight there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this gets on. Well, as we head into this next fight, Master Mac does have this shatter online, but it's going to be really difficult to deal with it. They have swapped off this Farah because of that double hit scan that it seems the side of Mustangs are going to be running here. The self-destruct coming out, not going to find anyone. The coalescence is also there. The shatter coming out from both sides, but it's going to be the side of Air 404 that gets the most value out of it because they've got all these picks and they've burned a lot of ultimates as well on the side of Brashear Mustang.
There was some very great positioning there from the McCree, just sitting up there on high ground, peppering down. Honestly, there was nothing that the Mustangs could have done about that. And the fact that they've swapped off the Farah does give a little bit more use to their healer comp of Lucio Bap compared to the Mercy, who is now a bit stranded, but seemingly staying on for the ult. It looks like in this next fight we're going to have high noons for both teams, and the window obviously coming out first. And there's the first high noon of the game.
Ooh, Red Luna with another huge Deadeye, taking down 2, and that should be enough. But just as I say that, 2 picks, Flogenis and Staney again, but no one can touch! Oh, no! Air 404 winning out on Oasis, which was an unfortunate misplay of positioning, as Air 404 are already up 1-0 in the series. Not a lot of people thought that was going to happen here.
Yeah, Mustangs coming in massive favourites, being undefeated so far in the CGL season. That doesn't mean they're not capable of losing maps though. So, do they have the mental capacity to come back after this first pretty hard?
It's a rather interesting decision to be using this Moira instead of the Baptiste. It's just, the Bap's just so versatile in today's game of Overwatch that you normally don't see anything but the Baptiste. And if you do, it's because you're running a Brig and another main support composition. But we're starting things off here as Red Luna trying to pepper in as much damage as they possibly can to start things off. A lot of damage coming in from both of these squads, but it's looking like Air 404 are on the back foot as Ash whoa, goes down early on. That should be enough for the side of Brashear Mustangs to win this fight out and get some well-needed rest for while the side of Minotaurs go back to spawn.
That's definitely the advantage of Baptiste in a nutshell there. With no immortality field, your Ryan's just going to die as soon as they get frozen or flashbanged. Also, the speed boost of Lucio is much better at engaging. So all the power here is in the Mustang's hands.
Yeah, well, they've already got this immortality, the Amp Matrix out. The barrage comes out from Red Luna, but doesn't get any value. They're still trying to fight this out. Cat using the coalescence does find Staney, but still, it's such an interesting decision. Cat has found another pick. The Shatter coming through, the self-destruct as well from the side of Mustangs to try to do something. It's looking good now for the side of Air 404. They've got these picks necessary. It's just 3 people left on point for the Mustangs here, as they're going to be using the Dragon Blade as well to win this fight out. Deadeye coming out from Spring Escape, but Red Luna finishing him with an arrow to the face, as finally the side of Error 404 taking the first point on King's Row.
Yeah, whilst the Fowler there actually didn't get any kills, it managed to spread out the Mustangs, which is the absolute worst thing you can do on this comp. You just need to stay as a ball and run at the team. And obviously with the Fowler barrage, you're going to be naturally running away from that. And then the Coalescence just comes in, picks you off one by one, and you can't do anything about it. It looks like here the Mustangs do have the May ult here, which is their only available ability. But that's without the combination of anything else, they might find it hard to follow up. Obviously looking for the wall here, but very late on in the second point phase, so lots of free card progress for the Minotaurs.
Yeah, and Khan got demeched early to start things off. You can't really push in. That D.Va is so essential to this composition that the side of Brashear Mustangs is running. That's so much eat potential coming out. Now they've got to wait for Khan to come back from spawn to really get back into this fight.
Indeed, the Sonic Arrow there absolutely hammering down Springy's positioning there, not able to come out and try and get a little pick in the end. Dragons come out from the Minotaurs, and so does the Blizzard. We are on with lots of ults here. Bomb and into the back line, but blocked off by the wall quite nicely. A couple of picks coming in through for the Mustangs. We'll probably clean up this fight pretty nicely. And lots of ults invested from the Minotaurs and just the Blizzard from the Mustangs. That's a very good fight for ult economy there.
Yeah, that was a nice fight. Actually, whoa, did have a huge shatter, but not going to be followed up. Coming into this next fight here, Sonic, what are you looking for?
I'm going to be looking for the Minotaurs just to literally run out the Mustangs. They've got a couple of players still coming back from spawn, so they're definitely at the man disadvantage here. But the Mustangs do have those crucial ultimates, which could be lethal in this situation.
Oh, but Red Luna starts things off with a pick onto Fish. That's huge, and the self-destruct is going to be used to get back into Mac. That is that's an ultimate no longer there. Dragon Strike coming out from Luna. Nervy with another 2K Deadeye, as the side of Error 404 should be able to capture this out fairly easy off the bat of those 2 crucial DPS ultimates.
Yeah, there's a lot of ults invested from the Minotaurs there, but it's most definitely worth it at the late stage of the second point. If you lose that point there and you kind of dribble your ults in, you're always going to lose that. And this does mean the Minotaurs are a slight disadvantage coming into this next fight. Lots of ults for the Mustangs, including the beat, which means that they can either engage or disengage, but there's no ults for the Minotaurs to disengage from. So it looks like it should be a fight win for the Mustangs. Anything can happen.
Goodness! What a huge shatter coming in from Master Mech! The master of the shatter, as he lays down 6 and kills 6 as well. What a shatter coming out from the main tank of Mustangs.
That is most definitely what you want from your main tank. Just to absolutely slam everyone on the other team. There was no chance there whatsoever. No beat, no ammo, and everyone just died.
Yes, sir. As they're going to be heading into this, the Spring Escape does have this Death Blossom, and looks like he's ready to be using it to start things off in the way. Flowjet also having this Blizzard as well. They're going to be starting it off, and they get the D-Mech onto Mr. Potwash, as that is huge, as the side of Mustangs are looking super strong on this 3rd point defense right now, Sonic.
Yes, they are, and it looks like the Ryan on the Minotaurs actually tried to shatter there and just did nothing with it. It looks like, honestly, the Minotaurs are struggling here. They're going to be rotating a couple of ults in, but they're never going to be enough, really, to overcome everything that the Mustangs have to counter that. And it looks like we're just having another quick, clean fight up from the Mustangs onto the Minotaurs. Honestly, swapping back over onto the Farah here for the Minotaurs. Interesting on 3rd point, especially since they now no longer have the Mercy, though they may swap back to that. It could reap havoc, having no main hit scan on the Mustangs. The D.Va will have to sit on the Farah like they're their best friend to be able to deal with that. Beat, obviously, for the Mustangs, and that is basically how they're going to win this fight.
Yeah, the Ant Matrix to start things off here from Staney, trying to get a lot of damage, buy some more time off the clock, but Khan gets demaxed. This is going to be a free die, but no, a big May wall coming in from Flogenis to block all those sight lines. The Death Blossom and the Self-Destructor out, 1 for 2 with ultimate trades there for the side of Error 404, but they've got all these picks, but oh, Fishmina with a fight winning maybe pick coming in onto Cat, who had that coalescence as the respawns are coming back. Master Mac with a charge from Narnia, taking out Ash like, whoa, it's only 2 people left on point. The Self-Destruct is there, trying to find some damage. It's just Nervy and Mr. Giggles left on point. The respawn's trying to come back for the side of Error 404, but it's down to 30 seconds, and it's not looking good as Mr. Potwash gets demacked. They need to get a pick, and they need one now if they want to win this out. That is a big one to start things off, but another pick going into the favor of the side of Mustangs. They've got all the picks they need. They just need to kill these last couple picks left. Ash like, whoa, does get a shatter, but it's still not going to be enough as Mustangs look to continue this 3rd point hold with 5 seconds remaining. It's not looking good for Arrow 404 as Mr. Giggles is looking to stay alive. The sound barrier is there. The shatter, massive yet again from Master Mac, and that should be all she wrote for King's Row attack for Arrow 404.
That was very, very well played by the Mustangs. Just the knowledge, just to pin into the team there from the Reinhardt is just incredible. You never think of doing that. You're down almost all your team and you just go. Obviously it worked out. It might not have done, but working out is the best way it happens, and that's a good hold for the Mustangs. They're probably going to run almost identical comps on the flip side here. I'd imagine there won't be a Pharaoh on the defense for the Minotaurs, but anything can happen. Red Luna has done a lot of damage on that Pharaoh. Whilst the ults haven't been as good as they could have been, they have definitely been impactful. And honestly, the Minotaurs should not be sad with that 2-point push. It's often stopped at much earlier point in the run. They did lose a bit of momentum towards the end of second, which I think is probably what killed them there. And yeah, looks like we're on a Soldier Hanzo combination for the Minotaurs on defense. You don't often see the Hanzo actually on the defensive because there's not that imperative need to break the enemy shield. And given the fact that you're don't have a Mei, that is very dangerous because the Mei obviously completely annihilates a lot of other supports. The Mercy as well is questionable when the other team's going to be running back. Lucio has the ability just to speed in, and I think that is probably their win condition here. Speed in, freeze the Rhine, kill the Rhine, and probably win the fight here.
Definitely. We did see a swap Nervy going over to the Tracer instead of the Soldier in the end, but still, it shouldn't matter because they're just going to be able to rush in just like that. They've put a lot of damage going and onto the side of Mustangs is huge, but all these picks going into the favor of Mustangs in the end should quickly get this 1st point capture, as it's just a DMEC Diva and a BAP left on point. It's a very quick capture coming in from the side of Brashear Mustangs.
Yeah, that's exactly your goal with this comp, is just to run into the team. And with the other team having the Mercy, they don't have the ability to do that to you. So you have the freedom of doing whatever you like, and that is lovely. It looks like we've got a little bit of a tickle fight here with the Diva onto the Hanzo. But they're all going to probably try and back off here, try and get set up for a Waywall, and that should be their next fight there.
Yeah, well, they're going to be starting things off here. It's going to be really difficult for Ash like Woe to be that aggressive main tank that they need. But just as I say that, a pin coming in, and Red Luna with 2 with the Dragon Strike wins that fight easily for Error 404, as the rest of Mustangs have to go back to spawn to regroup.
That was a very, very effective fight, if anything too effective. It didn't allow them to build up any else. Their supports are still 60 and 36, even with the swap onto the Moira after the Mercy. And that is going to mean that the Mustangs just have that advantage here, with both Window and Slan here, and coming up onto Diva Bomb. The DPS are obviously going to have their ults as well first, so I'd favour the Mustangs here.
Another 4K Shatter coming out from Master Mech on the Reinhardt, yet again winning that fight out immediately for the side of Brashear Mustangs. Shatters could be as big as you want, but as well, Mustangs are following up on these shatters, which is huge.
That's key, because you can have the biggest shatter in the world and no follow-up to it, which is just the most painful experience ever. Brashear have so much momentum here, because they're going to have 3 ults on the board, coming up to their 4th, compared to just coming up to basically all their ults. But obviously on the defense, it's harder because you don't have that power to engage as freely. Honestly, I think Brashear should just be able to take this with a couple of ults here.
Well, it's gonna be Red Luna starting things off here with this Dragon Strike. The Shatter coming out as well. It's a lot of ultimates, and Mr. Potwash finding 3 with the self-destruct, as well as the remech kill onto Master Mech to finish things off, as Khan going off the side of the map to finish that team fight in the favor of Error 404.
I think that is the perfect demonstration of how literally anything can happen. Obviously, Mustangs didn't win that fight because of the gigantic slam bomb combination, which is pretty common within this tier. I saw many matches played with it earlier on. And that does mean that the Minotaurs don't have that many ults to work with. They did invest forward to that fight, and they've only got the 2 left. An early beat here for the Mustangs, trying to engage quickly, which seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah, definitely working well. All that damage being soaked up by the sound barrier armor is gonna be huge, as they're gonna be able to walk this through. Still a big time bank going forward. 47 meters is all they have to push it in the 4 minutes they have left.
Yes, that is a massive time bank to push it not very far. It's probably one fight here. That's all they have to win, because they don't. The Mustangs aren't going to have to push it as far as the Minotaurs should have done. So the Minotaurs do need to take either an early fight here or take a good fight, and it's not looking that good for them.
Yeah, they did get that Shatter kill onto Ash like well, but that was the only thing that Shatter hit. Nervy coming back, got Flogenis, swapped to the Reaper, which is a big pick, a big tank buster. But Khan's out there with a big self-destruct, taking down Ash like whoa. It's not looking like anyone's going to be able to touch the Blizzards there. It's celebration as Brashear Mustangs tie up the series 1-1.
That was a very, very well-timed Blizzard. Honestly, not even needed. But the bomb, again, coming in clutch. That's 3 bombs in this game that has just absolutely wiped the floor of their opponents. Which is interesting, given the fact that, honestly, bomb isn't exactly the best ultimate in the game, but when you've got the grouped up nature of these team comps, it works well, and you just have to get the line out of the way, and that's the bomb going boom.
Oh my god.
For Red Luna here, the soldier, if they have the damage boost, that's them absolutely obliterated very quickly. Obviously the Mercy on the other side will also be helping the Farah. The Sim though for the Minotaurs could be an interesting TP strat, maybe underneath them, maybe just around the side. But I imagine that they're going to be looking for point presence with the Reinhardt and the Diva over Double Shield or Monkey.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how they decide to engage this, especially without a Lucio from the side of Minotaurs. Springy skate on that signature Hanzo there, taking out Red Luna to start things off. The res burned early as well, as it looks like they're just going to be TPing the point, it seems. Or I don't know where that TP... Oh, the TP was just... the TP messed up. But they've got this point control now as well with these sentry turrets online. It's going to be really difficult for the side of Mustang to push in, as we just saw Khan get annihilated by those sentry turrets. As this should be a very quick capture coming in from Error 404.
That is some impressive sim play. Just no one looked at the turrets. If someone had looked on the turrets of the Mustangs, they might have stood a bit more chance. But the beaming up of the sim, that 180, 200 DPS, that is unstoppable. Especially when you've got two shields to give them free ammo. And we have a very, very quick push onto the point here, which is understandable. And it looks like we're going to just go straight into two ticks taken.
That was almost huge. Red Luna is down now, however. That could be the sign that they needed to win this out. But a fully charged sim is in the way of the side of Mustangs as Nervy with so much damage coming out. Arrow 404 with a huge time bank.
I think we're going to need to get a check on the world record books on that one.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible indeed.
I do definitely think that the Mustangs missed the trick there, because honestly, they just played really well for their team comp, but they just got outmatched by a point presence. Without the point presence, there would have been nothing for the Minotaurs. They wouldn't have been able to do the poke. They wouldn't have been able to take long fights. But just because they have the presence of the Symmetra beaming up, beaming, and that's all we need, honestly. And that quick fight is going to be a massive boost to their mental attitudes here for the Minotaurs. And honestly, the Mustangs are a bit in danger here.
Yeah, definitely. If that shows anything, that's a huge time. I mean, what more can I say? It's a huge time bank. Yeah, it's gonna be impossible, or nearly impossible, for the side of Brashear Mustangs to even come close to that. And with the nature of 2CP, more time is definitely your friend because you have so much more time to capture a point.
Yes, most definitely. For the Mustangs, even if they just get the cap, they're going to have such a hard time defending for 2, 3, 4 minutes, whatever it ends up being. It's just a really hard task. If they manage to match or better the time, which would be very impressive, then it's obviously a even fight at that point, but that's very unlikely, and we're just going into our first fight now with a big Ryan pin.
Yeah, well, it seems more likely now that Cat unfortunately took a drink in the very cold oceans of Volskaya, or the rivers, as, you know, having your mercy for this fight was huge. Not having that damage boost onto Nervy just ruined that entire push, as it's going to be a very similar time bank for the side of Mustangs on point 1 here.
They need to be careful that they don't destroy their teleporter too late, because if they do, if they don't destroy it, then they're not going to have the teleporter ready for the next fight. But it does look slightly better here for the Minotaurs, because they are already on point with the sim turrets up, and that is going to be crucial. The Mustangs just didn't sit on point at all on the previous round, whereas the Minotaurs are here.
Woo! A nice counter out coming in from Master Mac, taking down Ash like, well, mid-shatter. But still, it's looking good for the side of Mustangs. They've got all these picks necessary. It's just the Mini Diva on point. This could be a bigger time bank for the time, but just as I say that, respawns are coming back. But just, it's looking like we're going to have a very similar time bank from the side of Brashear Mustangs. And Springy Skate just being unleashed with these Reaper shotguns on point. The respawns are coming back, however, and a lot of time is being dealt because of it. As Nervy gets taken down by Khan self-destruct. That's a huge pick coming in from the side of Mustangs. But still, they've still got a massive time going in. The respawns are coming back. They're trying to come back quickly, but it might not be quick enough, as the side of Mustangs are going to have another massive time bank. But just as 2CP is, we get all that time taken away. It's down to 2 minutes and 29 seconds and 2 minutes respectively. But still, that's a huge time bank.
That is absolutely massive. For both teams to cap it that fast and both lose like 3 minutes, that's just ridiculous. The sims clearly worked on both sides, neither team actually being able to deal with the sim properly. All you need to do to counter the sim here is just to shoot her. That's genuinely all the problem is. But obviously that's hard if the tanks are making space as they should be, and the supports are healing her. So I reckon we're going to see the sim strat again here, but I think they might be a bit more ready for it, and possibly even counter picking on the Ryan rather than the double shield here for the Minotaurs.
Yeah, it looks like it. Both teams right now opting for the Symmetra at the moment. Obviously, we can tell what the defenders are going to be running here, as well, they have to get to the point quicker than the attackers. But it doesn't look like any swaps are coming through for either squad.
No. Obviously, the Minotaurs running the Pharaoh on defense here, which is interesting because the attackers do have the option to swap off onto his scan if they need to, but that the Pharaoh does allow for a lot more punishment on the Symmetra teleporters here, as just a couple of shots there can get all the team down to half health or even worse.
Definitely. As we're going to be sending it in here, they're looking to get things started up, but, I mean, it's not looking good. No one's going to be touching the... What's going on? No one's touching the point for the side of Minotaurs. The ring around the Rosie, it looks like on point here, as they've already given up for first point. Tick on for the side of Mustangs, but this is, I say that all the damage in the world coming out from Error 404 to take down these attackers and start their defense strong on this overtime round.
There's an interesting rotation there, actually, just literally swapping roles in effect, with the attackers defending and the defenders attacking. But it did work for the Mustangs. I think that might actually... it did work for the Minotaurs. I think that is down to the Pharaoh, to be totally honest with you. It's forcing the Speedy onto the Soldier here, so that is very, very good for them, because it means they don't have as much sustained damage in the middle of the fight with the Reaper.
Well, and Potwash is going to get into mech before this fight starts off, but Cat goes down. That's huge. The barrage coming out from Red Luna, not going to find anyone thanks to Khan and that Diva. Just I say that, they do get the D-Mech onto Khan, which is huge, and then Master Mac is down as well. This should be enough for the side of Error 404 to win yet again, but Navy, oh my god, Nervy almost going down there. Nervy with so many picks in that fight. It's down to 20 seconds, and they have Cat back on point, but they need to get that Farah back here because that's a lot of damage coming out.
Yes, most definitely. The Brashear Mustangs actually have probably... Well, they have even ults with the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs obviously just trying to stop them getting to point here, but they're going to have to get a great block on the Shatter there. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they did connect to Cat on that Mercy, but now it's still looking good for Error 404 as Nervy is supercharged on this Symmetra yet again, and it's just beaming down the other side of Brashear Mustangs, as that is going to be a first point hold coming out from Error 404. Mustangs did get progress on the point, which is big, because if they can get a full hold of themselves, they can win this point. Map's still out, though.
Most definitely. The extra 30 seconds, though, the Minotaurs have could allow them to just dry fight everything and then just throw everything into one fight. Or they could try their sim strategy with their TP onto point, maybe behind point, somewhere. But it could work. And I'd imagine that the defenders here will be running the Ryan as well, because obviously it didn't work well on the first defense. So... yes, it looks like we are going to be getting Ryan mirrors here again. Pharaoh again for the Minotaurs, unsurprising really, but it does fall down to the double hit scan of the Mustangs. The Lucio though on the Mustangs could be a defining factor there. The extra speed could just allow them to roll over the tank line of the Minotaurs, and that could be the end.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this time bank, they've got so much time. Really, they would have had more obviously if they held their defense stronger, but still, they still got a lot of time on this clock, because I mean, you've got at least five, maybe 4 fights in this, and you can, if you want, have a full sail change and be able to win this fight still out.
Yeah, most definitely. The Mustangs on the defense here, they're just going to have to be cycling ults like crazy. They need to win every single fight and not let the Minotaurs get any ults whatsoever.
Well, Nervy is trying to build up to that full charge sim beam here, as Ooh, Red Luna does take down Springy Skate, but is traded out for Flojanis. Flojanis with another pick, taking down Cat as well on that. Mercy is huge, as this should be enough for the side of Brashear Mustangs to win this first fight out, and the first of many.
Indeed, that was a very crucial pick onto the Farah there, denying all the damage that would have been absolutely pumped into the team. It unfortunately did allow the Ryan on the Minotaurs to get a bit more charge over his counterpart, which could be the defining factor, because you get a quick shatter off here, and they don't have any mercy for any reses if they get a single pick, so this could be interesting.
Ooh, so they took the cheeky little teleport strat off the side of the map. Gonna be taking this high ground now, it seems, most likely. Khan is there, gonna be scouting that out for the rest of his squad, but still, they've got this high ground very easily, and now they've got this other high ground as well, trying to take down Springy Skate early on. But no, it's not gonna happen for the time being. The teleporter is destroyed. They're just waiting for anything to happen here. Both charges coming out, as the immortality field is not enough to save Ash like whoa on that Reinhardt. That was a lot of time monkeying around, as Mustangs are down to 30 seconds here. They might win this map, Sonic.
Yeah, that is definitely a crucial fight for the Mustangs. Just getting that tick in a tiny bit, that's all they need for this map win, even being absolutely demolished on the first round, sorry. They also have a great ult advantage here, with both DPS ults coming up to both tank ults and almost both support ults here. And if you look on the Minotaurs, they have Valk, which they've just used, and then their DPS might get there, and then Vine and Lucio are also present.
Oh my goodness, Red Luna looking for a Deadeye. He's taken down Ofish, but Khan trying to turn it back. Has got two self-destruct kills, but it's still looking good for the side of Error 404. It's just the Diva and the BAP left on point. They might have done it. Mr. Power Wash to the self-destruct gets 2, and oh my goodness, at the 11th hour, Error 404 take Volskaya Industries to move 2-1 into the series.
What a final fight that was. That was a great initiative from the Minotaurs, just to take the fight and not give the Mustangs any time to really react to it. Honestly, that was a little bit of a surprise that it took that long for them to actually win the map, considering how much they absolutely destroyed on the first round. But it did fall the way of the bigger time bank in the end. Without that bigger time bank, that would have been the Mustangs taking the win.
Definitely, indeed.
But the Mage just gives a little bit more slow play enabled, because you can just wall off the spawn door, just get your bearings back, and just go again. And the Farah is on the side of the Minotaurs, which could be a little bit dangerous to the Mustangs here.
Well, they've already been caught out here, and it looks like, yeah, Red Luna is waiting to come out of spawn, but it's going to be taken down immediately by Springy on this Cassidy here. A nice anti-nade coming in from Mr. Giggles, however, as that's going to be able to rush through the side of Mustangs, but still, these picks going either which way, but it looks like the side of Mustangs are going to be heading back to spawn to regroup for this next fight.
Yes, that was a little bit of a mistake on the Mustangs' part, letting them get out of spawn and going for all-in. The Farah did actually do the job it was meant to do, was to break up the spawn camp. Other than that, some great shots there from the McCree, Cassidy. And honestly, you can't get anything better than aim.
Yeah, as they're gonna be starting things off yet again with Nervy using this Dragon Strike. We saw this earlier on King's Row. The Shatter comes out, does connect to 2, but the follow-up is not there, because because Ash like whoa falls down. Khan gets 2 of their own, and this should be enough for Mustangs to cement their positioning on this point. But just as I say that, Nervy takes down Fish. That could be enough for this to change into the favor. The Amp Matrix is out, however, from the side of Mustangs to get more damage into the front line of Air 404, but a nice shot coming in from Nervy, takes down Springy Skate. The respawn Ash like whoa is there. The self-destruct, interesting decision from Khan is there as well, but the point is so close to this end here, as Self-destruct out as well, but it's still looking good for the side of Mustangs to win this out. It's just Nervy left, but he's taken down by Flogenis. Just as I say that, Potwash is there as well, but he's going to be taken down quickly.
That was a very, very messy fight indeed. A little bit close there, I'd imagine, for the Mustangs to be happy. And they do have a couple of people still coming back from spawn. So if Minotaurs can get themselves together quickly, they can get a nice fight here without the positioning advantage of the Mustangs. They have got an interesting swap onto the Genji here into double hit scan, which maybe could work if you get a couple of good picks, maybe onto the Baptiste or the Cassidy. But it does pair well with the Pharah here.
Oh, Master Bag. Oh, no, we didn't even look at it. Springy Skate with a 3K Deadeye in the back. Wins out this fight easily for Mustangs as the rest of Minotaur have to go back to spawn to regroup.
That was an amazing Deadeye. Honestly, that's just with the positioning there. And the fact that the Minotaurs just wanted to get onto the points, get the point rolling, which ended up being their downfall there. If we have a look at the ultimates available here, we've got 3 on the Mustangs and then 2 on the Minotaurs. So the Minotaurs don't have that much time to get their ults online, so they're going to have a big barrage and a reasonably sized nano, but they've already lost their diva here at the start of this fight, so this is now one fight territory here.
Yeah, they're going to res Mr. Potwash up immediately as, oh, the Shatter gets countered out again, as it's looking good for Mustangs. They might have done it yet again with a big hold coming out onto point 1 of Havana. It's down to 50 seconds here, Sonic.
Yeah, and they've just got the 1 ultimate for the Minotaurs compared to coming up to 4 for the Mustangs. This is going to have to be absolutely massive, but there is the advantage that there isn't a beat to counter it, it's just the diva. So that could be absolutely key. They do have a swap onto the Lucio here, just to try and get that extra speed in here. And keep the touch going.
My goodness, they might have done it. Red Luna takes down Flogenis, and there's still the majority of people are left on point. Nervy yet again doing as much as they possibly can to win this fight out for the side of Error 404. They've got these picks to win this fight out. The respawns are coming back. Flogenis with attack visor. Found 1, looking for another. Finds 2. Needs the 3rd. They might have done it. Nervy's still alive though. The Deadeye coming out from Springy Skate. Finds Cat and the D-Mech as well. Red Luna is just there, it seems. But no, they did swap up, so they're not there. It's just Ash left on this point. Nervy trying to do something here with attack visor. Finds 2, but pays for it with its life. The respawns are trying to come back, but it's still looking good for the side of Brashear Mustangs, because everything is going in their favor. It's just the Lucio left on point, and the overtime bar ticks down as the full hold comes through.
It's some amazing teamwork there, just to touch the point in the first place at that 1-2 meters left point, and then to come back, rotate your DPS ultimates to put the pressure on first with the tank visor, and then just clean up with that Deadeye. Honestly, the Brashear Mustangs might have been able to stop that from happening in the first place if they were just slightly more proactive with their ults, but obviously it's last fight territory. You want to try and fight as cleanly as possible, just in case you do happen to get a rather large bomb in your face, and obviously it worked out for them. The stalls came in, and the Minotaurs' spawn is just too far away for them to keep up with the speed of the Mustangs there. On this attack, we are going to see the spawn camp defense attempted by the Minotaurs, this time with the Mei rather than McCree. Maybe that's the difference. Flogen is currently showing the Widowmaker, though I doubt they're going to stay on that for very long. Also, the Moira over the Lucio again for the Minotaurs. Seems to be that Cat doesn't particularly like the Lucio, or just doesn't want to play Lucio, which I get. Lucio can be very boring if you're playing it in this style of comp, rather than in gold competitive lobbies and you can just go and spawn camp the Widowmaker. That's just fun. But other than that, we are going to look at seeing an Orisa Diva at the moment on Mustangs. That might change. Yep, back to the Ryan Diva, and let's see how this spawn camp holds up.
Yeah, as they're gonna need to get a lot of time off with the spawn camp from from the side of Era 404 because, well, there it goes. Mr. Giggles is down. They do still have the Moira, but still, that Baptiste is just so important to this full hold as the rest of Minotaurs has to just die quickly here as they're going to have to take down Potwash because they won't get any cart progress if they don't.
Yeah, that was a very, very well executed fight for the Mustangs there. They managed to break through the spawn camp, which is always hard, especially on these early attempts. And now that they're getting the cart rolling, they're going to have these ultimates online earlier than the Minotaurs, who've got a couple of swaps on there. Or a single swap on the Soldier, and double swap there. So, yes, the Mustangs are definitely in a much favoured position here to take this map and take it to all.
Yes, definitely, as they're going to be heading into a lot of damage, especially Flogenis trying to get to that barrage as it's still looking good. No team has the upper hand yet, but that May trying to get Master Mac does go down here. Cat on the Moira is doing enough to win this fight out in the end, getting 3 final blows to finish things off as Era 404 come back from spawn and are able to start their defense, hopefully.
That is an amazing fight win for the Minotaurs, but they are going to be running against almost 6 ultimates from the Mustangs, and they've got just the one with the Coalescence to show for themselves. They do probably have just about 1.5 fights left in the cart progress, but that is a huge pick from Flogenis onto the Soldier, and that might be the crumbling.
Yeah, definitely. As Khan takes down Mr. Giggles as well. If they just take down Cat, this is all she wrote for the Mustangs here. As Cat is so low right now, then does get taken down by Flogenis. They just have Red Luna to touch at this moment in time. Lucio is going to be there as well to touch, but it's still not going to be enough. The barrage is there to just put so much damage on to the rest of the respawns. They're coming back as Brashear Mustangs tie up the series yet again as it's now 2-2 all around.
Honestly, the scoreline does show how close all of these matches are. The Minotaurs were a little bit unlucky there with the way their ultimates panned out. They didn't really get any cycling nicely. But the Mustangs played very, very nicely indeed. Their positioning was good. Their ult economy was good. They knew they just had to go in with 6 ults and just come and take the cart, basically. Farah, the map just has so much more versatility in it and different things that you can do. The immortality just being crucial, especially against the Ryan, and in this case a May Tracer. Very interesting decision. Obviously most space is going to go to the Mustangs, and Junkrat, that's very dangerous. A big May wall though to start things off though.
Yeah, as a lot of damage coming out from Mustangs, mainly because Fish is on that Lucio, able to speed up and get everyone quickly there. Both teams actually opting for Lucio. Didn't actually notice that. First thing for, I feel like for the first time we've seen that coming out from Era 404, but it's going to be starting off for Mustangs. They've got this point control unlocked, and a lot of damage is coming out from their squad as it's Master Mac with another massive shatter. He's built it up very quickly, and that is all they need to decisively win that team fight.
Yes, that shatter was absolutely amazing. The cleanup as well was very quick. It was there, and that means that the Minotaurs are on the back foot on most of their ults, but they are coming up to both of their support ultimates. But they will be running into a Tire and the Sim Wall. The Sim Wall isn't actually going to be as dangerous for the Mustangs here because there isn't this enemy Sim. So, you know, it could just be a helpful hand in winning this next fight.
Well, the Coalescence is going to start this off. Amp Matrix is out as well, but here comes a Rip Tire taking down Red Luna. The Pulse Bomb trying to get something done from Nervy, but nothing to do as Springy is just going to beam them down quickly as another team fight win goes in favor of the side of Brashear Mustangs for the time being.
Yeah, very, very clean and very, very efficient. Two ults on either side and a swap on the Minotaurs onto a Hanzo, which is probably quite a good shot given Junk's square hitbox. But a very, very quick pick onto the May of the Minotaurs is probably going to be the end of that quick fight. And Minotaurs will spawn.
He did it again, Sonic! The man on the main tank, Master Mac, with another massive shatter coming out and winning that team fight. It's down to last fight territory. It's going to be very difficult for Error 404 to win this out.
Yeah, they're going to have to touch, and that's probably going to be down to the Lucio here with the D.Va just spawning, and that means that Beat's not going to be in a great position. Dragon does come out earlier.
Yeah, Dragon and Blizzards are out, but 2 picks are already in the favor of Mustangs. As the Riptire comes out, finds 2 as well, as Flogenis on this Junkrat gonna get so many picks yet again, as the team kill gong sounds, as the side of Brashear Mustangs looks so dominant right now.
That's the composition diff at the heart of it. The Junkrat on Control Center is literally unstoppable at this rank. And opting for the longer range poke and the Tracer combination really just didn't work out for the Minotaurs. Honestly, if they don't play the Sim on this map, they're just going to get absolutely shredded completely. The Sim targets, the Junkrat spam, and they're going to be on the point much earlier. The Pharaoh could provide some stability in that, just because of the poke it can do into the backline. But again, it might not be as effective without the Mercy.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting that they run this without the Mercy. Who's gonna touch here first is the big question. It looks like they're gonna get there about the same time, but it's gonna be Brashear Mustangs. They're a bit quicker, as they're gonna be already pumping in so much damage. Springy and Nervy, respectively, already fully charged, but it's looking good for the side of Brashear Mustangs. Just as I say that, picks going in favor of the side of Error 404, but Khan still in mech is just going to be so much more versatile than Potwash in the end, as the side of Brashear Mustangs yet again starting strong on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, most definitely. That's the early D-mech onto Potwash. Just didn't help at all because there's no defense matrix to stop anything, and then there's also no quick pressure when you get someone low. On this next fight, I'd imagine that the Mustangs should win this quite easily with this amp matrix, which just came out.
Yeah, the amp matrix is out. They're just gonna buy a lot of time with it, not gonna be pushing into it, but still. Buying time is huge. The big teleporter into the back is going to get stunned up by Flogenis on the Cassidy. As Springy Skate going to be unleashed yet again with this, with the Symmetra beam in the back line. It's going to be just so hard to deal with that damage coming out, as Flogenis taking down Red Luna and Master Mac to finish things off, as Mustangs are looking so strong on this control point.
Yeah, Mustangs are dominating so far, but Minotaurs do definitely have a good opportunity here, with a lot of ults coming online, including the wall and barrage, which will definitely help, with just the IMO and defense matrix really to stop that, and it looks like we're going to have a quick engage here with Nervy with the wall.
Yeah, Photon Barrier out early on to just block things off. The Shatter coming out doesn't find anyone from Master Mac. First time for everything, it seems. Oh, but a nice boot coming in from Red Luna, as the Shatter's gonna find value because of it. But God, with a 2KD remake, that could be enough to win this out for the side of Brashear Mustangs, but it's just the 2 tanks left on point. It should be enough for the side of Error 404 to win this out. The respawn's trying to come back, but it's not. It's going to be a little too late, it seems, but it's up to 99%. The dying is there. Flogenis finds 2, but it still shouldn't be enough for Mustangs to flip it, as in the end, Error 404 get their first capture percentage on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, that's the ultimates from the Minotaurs really coming in clutch there. But the 99% on the board does mean that the Mustangs have probably a very good opportunity here just to come in, clean up. They've got the beat, they can engage fast. They do have to be careful of the Pharaoh though, that could be the end of them.
Well, the self-destruct is out from Potwash. Nervy takes down Staney, but Red Luna's gone, and they still have not used this barrage. As Flo, Genis, and Stringy are just going to be able to rain down damage because they don't have to worry about the fire any longer. As Mustangs easily can't recapture the point, and it should be the end of this map. It doesn't look like anyone can touch, as Brashear Mustangs are now on match point to start and going into a hybrid map.
That is a absolute masterclass on how to play fast. They played fast, they killed the Pharah, that means there's no barrage, and that's all you need to really do in that situation. You need to play quick, deny the ultimates, and deny even getting the ultimates off, and that is just the nature of the game. If you play fast in these solo comps, you will win fights and you will win games.
Yeah, it's that you said it perfectly. I mean, they're doing it exactly how they need to play this game, and it's looking super good for them now that we.
These teams know what they can do. Brashear Mustangs obviously slight advantage here, being 3-2 up, but they can both definitely still win this on their respective comps. But again, a Mercy on the Minotaurs rather than the Lucio. Still questionable, but it has worked in the past, so we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, it definitely has worked in the past, and it's definitely better not to swap to things you're not comfortable, especially when it's down to these last couple of maps in a series, as they just need to work their magic and do what feels comfortable to them in the end, as a lot of damage is coming out, but Springskate has taken down the Immortality field as Master Mac with another massive shatter, as he builds it up so much more quickly than Ash like Woe has. Oh, yeah, I need to do that, because, well, it's now... Yeah, and Staney has this Immortality or Amp Matrix as well, Sonic, to start things off next fight.
Yeah, we've got to swap onto the Lucio for the Minotaurs. They're clearly recognizing that the Lucio speed has just completely and utterly diffed them. The speed up from the Mustangs, they couldn't keep up. The Minotaurs could. But we do have the Dragon here for the Hanzo, which does mean that they often use the Dragon pretty early on the fight here. So I'd imagine we see that.
Well, the Amp Matrix is there to start things off, and Red Luna did not get caught out there. Very interesting to see, but now we see the rest of Mustangs pushing into this front line of the side of Error 404. They need to get a pick, as he's already built up another shatter before Ash like Woe has done anything else. And Khan with a 3K self-destruct in the backline. As, oh my goodness, Brashear Mustangs have turned on another level.
Yeah, that is just the speed that they're playing at. If they didn't play at the speed, they might have a little bit more trouble with the pokey style of the Minotaurs comp. But they're absolutely executing this perfectly so far. Obviously, Minotaurs do have some ults coming online now, which could be a little bit dangerous to the Mustangs, but they have many ults for themselves to counter that with.
Yeah, you know, we saw it again. The shatters coming out from both sides. Oh, and a nice pin coming through from Master Mac, but it does pay for it with his life in the end, thanks to that Dragon Strike coming out from Red Luna. But still, it's going to be going in the favor of Mustangs yet again. They get all the picks they need. It's down to 1 minute and 20 seconds left here, Sonic.
That is an awful fight on the side of the Minotaurs. They invested so many ults into that, and they got absolutely nothing. The Mustangs in a very, very strong position just to close out this map in the next couple of minutes here, because even with overtime, possibly a fight could come through with a couple of ults for the Minotaurs. It's looking pretty unlikely here.
Yeah, it is definitely looking unlikely here. The sound barrier to start things off from Overwatch. They've already taken down Ash like Woe, and that should be enough for them to win this out. Giggles using the sound barrier, interestingly enough, not to saving that for another push with your main tank.
It worked out perfectly though, because they now have one fight left, the Minotaurs, and all of one ult. And whilst the bomb can be a huge ult, it's easy to play around. You've got the ammo, you've got shield, and they don't have any other win condition really here, other than getting a nice pick.
And it's already starting off. Potwash does take down Overwatch. There's 4 picks now for the side of Arrow 404, but still Khan and Master Mac are still on this point. But just as I say that, Master Mac's down, it's just Khan left. The self-destruct is out, trying to do something to keep this point in their favor. But it's looking more and more likely that Arrow 404 have done enough to get this point into their favor. As Khan is down and Nervy takes the pulse bomb onto Springy's skate. This should be all they need in the end to win this map out. Khan comes back, trying to get a out, but the shatter does connect to Ash like, well, this could, oh my goodness, the respawn come back and they've won it. Oh my goodness, what has just happened here? Flowgenis with the Tac Visor taking out Nervy. It's just the self-destruct on point. It's all they need. Oh, Master Mac gets Rebec's killed. The high dude coming out from Springy Skate, trying to find the last couple of stragglers as the Mustangs somehow get the full hold on point 1.
How absolutely impressive is that? To come back from taking 5 players down, to come back and win the point without a tick being given. Now that is the sign of a very good team. For the third time, let's try and get this attack underway.
Yeah, as they're going to be starting things off here, as it looks like they're just waiting out this damage coming through from the tank line. Master Mac super low already, however, is getting burned down quite a bit with this composition that 404 are running here. As they're looking to get this, as Red Luna takes down Staney. Huge pick, a lot of heals gone for this side, as we see Mustangs are just going to back out now.
Yeah, in the middle of that fight, the Sigma went up to probably around 800 HP, and that allowed him just to play a little bit more freely in that, which probably made the difference in that. So the kinetic drops really coming in clutch over the Diva there, actually.
Definitely, as they're going to be heading through this yet again, looking to get this. Red Luna's going to start things off with a Dragon Strike, going to take out Springy Skate. The Shatter is there from Master Mac, but it's going to be quickly dealt with by Red Luna on the Hanzo. But just as I say that, picks are in both favors of both sides. It's really anyone's game here, but Khan is super low, can't really stay on the point. Nervy is going to be using that photon barrier as well, as it looks like the side of Brashear Mustangs are going to hold out for the time being, but they've definitely got this advantage because the respawns are still not back yet from the side of Arrow 404, as they're going to be pushing through here. Gravitic Flux out from Ash like, whoa, looking for something. The Shatter going to be canceled out by Potwash. It's still looking like anyone's game here for the time being. Springy's got 3 in this fight, though. This could be enough to win this out. The Dragon Strike's there. That's another pick for Springy, and that is it. Brashear Mustangs are your EU Tier 2 Grand Finals champions.
That was a very, very impressive passage of play there by Springy, absolutely clutching it out the bag from a reasonably scrappy fight from both teams. So I think great congratulations to the entirety of Brashear Mustangs for winning this competition. They all played amazingly well in this final matches, and very well deserved win.
Yeah, very well deserved indeed, as we now are at the end of our broadcast, as Brashear Mustangs, fair play to them. They were so good after that first round, or first map of Oasis to start things off. They just turned back and got everything back into this, as they fair play to them. They were incredible all night long. So thank you all for watching. Peace out. Have a wonderful evening or afternoon wherever you are. Goodbye.